In this video, I will walk you through the process I use to extract LinkedIn search results to a spreadsheet. As you can see, I'm currently on LinkedIn. I performed the search for web developers in New York, and now my goal is to build a spreadsheet where it has a column with the person's name, their headline, and the location, right? And I want to do this for every single result that appears under this search. Now, I'm specifically searching for people in this example, but this will also work for other types of searches. So for jobs, posts, companies, etc. Now, to achieve this, I use a tool called Phantom Buster, and I'm going to put a link for it in the description below if you want to sign up for a free trial and follow along. But once you're logged into Phantom Buster, you want to go to Solutions here. And in Solutions, you'll find the search field where you want to search for LinkedIn search export. This is the Phantom right here. This is the automation that will make this possible. You click on Use this Phantom. And the first thing you need to do here is connect your LinkedIn account. Now, the easiest way to do this is by installing the Phantom Buster Chrome extension. So the first time you set up this Phantom, you will see a little button here that says install extension or something like that. Just click on that, install the extension, and it will automatically connect to the LinkedIn account that you're currently logged in. Now, once you have your account connected, you click next, and this is where you configure the automation. So you first need to give it a name. I'm just gonna say web developers in New York. This can be anything you want. And then here is where you paste the LinkedIn search URL. Now, the LinkedIn search URL is the URL in your browser after you perform the search that retrieves the results that you want to export, right? So here I performed this search, and now I'm going to go ahead and copy the current URL. So whatever the URL is in the browser right now, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it right there. And that's how the automation will know that this is the exact search it needs to perform and extract all the results from that search. Now, it's also possible to keep running this automation at regular intervals and extract new profiles that appear in the search every day. So that's very useful. Now, if you want to keep things simple, you just click launch and the automation will be initiated. But let's also take a look at the advanced setup here. Now, in the searches to export page here, this is where we define the search criteria. So we have a few options. The first option is to enter a LinkedIn search URL, which is what I've done already previously. But there's now two more options. So we have keywords, where we can actually just go ahead and enter a search term. So web developers in New York, in my case, people, and then you can also define like a connection degree. So essentially, like it's the same thing, it's the same thing as providing a search URL, but yeah, we're just providing the search term that the automation will need to perform in LinkedIn and export the results. Basically the same thing. And this option, though, is quite interesting. So here, you can provide a URL to a Google Sheet that contains multiple search URLs. So if you want the automation to perform multiple searches every time it runs, you can provide a spreadsheet that contains those search URLs. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a full video on this. I'm very happy to do so. So those are the three options here in the advanced settings. Moving on to connect to LinkedIn. This just, again, like gives us the option to connect to the LinkedIn account. And if you're a little bit more technical, you could also manually connect to your LinkedIn account by providing a session cookie. Now, moving on to behavior here. This is where we get the option to edit the number of results to export per launch and the number of results to export per search URL. Now, the difference between these two is that this one here basically says that the maximum number of results that LinkedIn will return per search is 1,000. And this is true. Like if we go to LinkedIn here and we search for, let's search for accountants. I'm sure there's way more accountants than web developers. There we go. So 4,100 is the number of results it found that meet this criteria. But then if you look here, the maximum number of results, maximum number of pages that it returns is 100. And there are always 10 results per page. So 10 times 100, that's 1,000 results. Even though it was able to find 4,100, it only returns 1,000. And that's exactly what it says here. LinkedIn only displays the first 1,000 results of a search. And it basically tells you, it asks you here whether you want to export 1,000 results or if you want to export less, right? If you want to do, let's say, only the first 100, you just enter 100 here. So that's what this is. And then this one, here you enter the total number of results that you want to export per launch. So every time this automation runs, how many results do you want to export? So generally, it's better to only export a maximum of about 1,000 results per day, right? Just so you don't get into trouble with LinkedIn and your account gets banned. You want to make sure that you're within the recommended limits by Phantom Buster. So if you're planning on launching this automation multiple times a day, you just split this up and you say, let's say you want to do it twice a day, you just do 500 per launch. If you want to do it once a day, then you can do 1,000. But yeah, just don't go more than 1,000 basically. Actually, that's the maximum that it will do per launch. Now, moving on to launch settings here, this is where we define the frequency that this automation will be executed on. So you can either choose to execute it manually. So whenever you want to export some search results, you just launch the automation and it does its thing. Or you can choose to schedule it so it runs at a regular interval. So for example, once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times per day. It's completely up to you. Now, if I set it to twice per day, you see that it gives me a warning saying that 2,000 out of the recommended 1,000 results will be exported per day. And the reason for that is because in the behavior, I set this to be 1,000, the results per export per launch to be 1,000. So if I run the automation twice a day, it will try to export 2,000 results, which is not ideal. Therefore, I need to move this down to 500, which means that in total, I will be exporting 1,000 profiles per day, which is within the recommended limits. So you see, like it tells you here in real time whether you're within the limits or not. And then finally, you have some more advanced settings where you can set some additional limits, some email notifications, proxies, webhooks, and also configure your file management there where your results will be stored. So yeah, that's a general overview of the advanced settings. And once everything is configured, we can just click save here. And now we're ready to launch the automation. So I'm actually gonna go back quickly and change this to, I'm gonna leave it to 1,000, but I'm gonna make it once. So I'm only launching it manually. I'm gonna click launch and it will start running. So now I'm just gonna leave it run for a while and I'm gonna pause the video and come back once this is done. All right, so the export is now done. As you can see, it managed to export 894 profiles. And then it says that 50 profiles it couldn't access because they're out of my network. That's fine. And then here in the results tab, this is where we can see all the results. So there's like 96 pages of results here. And then for each result, we have the profile URL. We have the full name, first name, last name, image URL, past job, third degree, connection degree, the current job, the location. We have the query, the category, the current job, basically all the information that is available in the search view. So here I can just click download results to export a CSV file that contains all these results. And now if I go to my spreadsheet here, so I set up a Google Sheet, and I'm just going to go to File, Import, and I'm going to upload. I'm going to replace current sheet, import. There we go. So this is all the data here. And there should be about 950 something rows here. Correct? Yeah, so this is how you export your LinkedIn search results to a spreadsheet. Now, another cool thing you can do here with Phantom Buster is if we go to the leads page, so here it says like you can open the leads page, and here what you'll see is the profiles that you have exported, right? Organized in this feature, which is something like a CRM within Phantom Buster. And what's cool here is that you can create like lists with your profiles. So let's say we have a list called Web Developers in New York, and I can say that the condition is that the results were processed by a Phantom called Web Developers in New York, right? So that will group all the results in a list, and then I can perform additional actions on the profiles of this list. So I can sync them with my CRM, right? I can click here to sync them with the CRMs they have available: HubSpot, Pipedrive, Salesforce, Zoho. But I can also enrich the list, right? And this is really cool because you can use the other automations, the other phantoms that the tool offers to retrieve additional data for each profile. So for example, you can run the profile scraper on each profile of this list and get additional information that lives on the profile. So if we go here on LinkedIn, right, and we open one of these profiles, we have a lot more information about the profile that we can extract using the profile scraper. And I will do another video on this in the future. But you can also run a company scraper. You can enrich your profiles with AI, right? You can, for example, write a personalized message for each profile if you're planning on doing some outreach. There's just tons of cool things you can do to enrich your contact records here with additional data using Phantom Buster. And then you can also engage the list, right? So they have different phantoms which allow you to essentially do outreach and send messages to these profiles. And then what you can also do is you can instruct Phantom Buster to find the emails of these people. So if you're planning on running any cold emailing campaigns in the future, this can also be a very useful feature there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you an overview of all the possibilities here. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I would be very happy to help. And also let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos you would like to see. And yeah, with that said, I'll see you on the next one.